All right. How's it going, guys out there? Can y'all hear us? We need to get some better lighting in here. All right, guys. Hey, we're TopVelocity on a Friday, some Friday training here. We got camp tomorrow, pretty excited. I thought I'd bring Tyler on here from last camp because he's dealing with some structural things that it's good lesson for everybody to learn. Hey, you don't want to grab that light back there? So tell him a little bit some of the challenges you've had. Like Tyler's done well. He's got a mid to upper 80s fastball. He's obviously working to get in the 90s.
Yeah.
But talk about some of the injury issues you've been dealing with. Keep it close.
I've been having a lot of bicep pain and like medial elbow pain when I throw. And it's kind of because like I can't keep my thoracic and cervical spine like upright when I'm throwing, so my arm kind of drags through when I'm throwing. But,
right. So this is you came to me in camp and you're like, you've had these issues before: bicep pain,
yeah,
medial elbow pain. You've had how long have you had those issues?
I've had the bicep pain probably for a good 2 years now, and the elbow pain's probably been going on 6 or 7 months.
And yeah, he wants to keep it by your mind, like you're a good singer. Or something. All right, so tell him like, when did that show up? Like, in relation to your velocity, did it have any relationship to your velocity? Like when you started throwing upper 80s, did it start becoming more of a problem?
Yeah, the harder I started throwing, the more I started feeling it on my arm, just because I didn't think my arm could handle it, but I always just wanted to get out there and keep throwing either way. So
when you were throwing in the 70s, you probably didn't have these problems a lot.
No, I didn't have any problems really at all.
Okay, so what you're going to find is you might be the young guy who's like, oh, I can throw all the time, my arm never hurts. Well, a lot of times you just don't throw hard enough.
Yeah. And
it usually happens when we go mid 80s and up, because the stress at mid 80s and up is enough to tear ligaments at that point. That much velocity in most average arms enough to tear the arm. So when Tyler came to me with this issue, I remembered this case study which is really significant, and it says high thoracic kyphosis and backyard trunk inclination angles and the single leg standing position associated with medial elbow injuries in youth baseball pitchers. So this study, I mean, put it right here, try to show it to you. This study right here, you can search it, is actually defining Tyler's exact case. And the case being the arm pain, the bicep and arm pain. So what's happening is, we'll show this on Tyler, is if you stand sideways. So if you stand sideways, see that forward head lean? The study's even shown it. So this forward head lean, where the cervical spine, the top of the spine, is not curved. It's now straight and extended out. If you don't have a curve in the cervical spine, it kills the structure or the support system of the rest of the spine. The spine basically from here down starts to overcompensate to try to handle the weight of the head, right? So now the thoracic has to bow out to hold the weight of the head. And now when the thoracic bows out, now the lumbar has to kick in, right? So then you start walking around like this, right? So that's where he is. So the reason that links to the bicep pain and the medial elbow pain is because, now you don't have to be the dummy, I'll be the dummy. Because when, like the study says, the moment you pick your front leg up, you want to lean in. So I was telling him, like, pick your left leg up. Now he's doing a good job of fighting it, but tell him, like, what are you feeling?
Yeah, my neck really wants to try to tip forward, but I'm really kind of trying to fight it by pulling my scaps back.
Right. So here's the thing. All the things that I'm telling him to do is really just fighting his problem. He is going to have to constantly work with a chiropractor, can really help you with this. You're going to also have to do a lot of foam rolling. We can do wobble chair stuff. I'll show you more of that, some of this thoracic distraction stuff or cervical distraction. I'll show you that over there too. All that can help, but what he's dealing with is every time he wants to lift his leg, like the study says, the head wants to go forward. It basically wants to reinforce the we call kyphosis, that upper curvature in the thoracic spine. So the reason that's causing the pain is because when your head's forward, your shoulders are inwardly rotated. Now I've been telling him for 2 days, I can feel how active his back is. He's been trying to combat this because he feels it, right?
Yeah.
And we're in that position, and he needs to be careful with his phone. Like a lot of you guys out there with your phones, it reinforces his posture. So the worst thing you can do is I mean, it's gonna be hard on you. You're gonna have to hold your phones like this, man.
I actually had another question. Would the way you sleep, like if you sleep on your stomach, like with a pillow kind of?
It just doesn't help.
Yeah.
Right, because so if I'm sleeping on the stomach, right, then your stomach wants to go in. Are you sleeping with a pillow here?
Yeah.
Well, the pillow's trying to pull you back, but you're still kind of getting into a similar position.